now we'll start from the DSS. So now we'll study the attributes of a DSS. Attributes of DSS. Decisions, we have to take the decisions, and the decision making process must be simpler. And what are the attributes? So it is the adaptability and flexibility. So we may not take the decisions which may not be fruitful in the organization, so it should be flexible also, and a high level of interactivity. Efficiency and effectiveness. Efficiency particularly refers to the related to time, and in our computer cases, so technique we have used, one algorithm we have used. So there are similar types of cases, there are similar types of algorithm techniques present, but we have to adapt one efficient one. How to find out the efficient one? The efficient one is the in terms of time, which takes the less time for its executions. So that is the we have to adapt it. Similarly, also efficient and effectiveness part is required because related to time, we have to find out the decision. Complete control by decision matters. So that is another parameter. So these are some attributes presence of the DSS. So these are some attributes present in the DSS. Next come to the word character of DSS, characteristics of DSS. So first characteristics of DSS, that it supports support for decision making, support for decision makers in semi-structured and unstructured problems. Supports for decision makers in semi-structured and unstructured problems. Nowadays, what is our base is our data. Data is of one is the structured data, semi-structured data, unstructured data. So because we have to analyze, we have to collect, gather data, and by applying the techniques, applications of the tools, we have to work with those data. So in the data is also different category. That is the structured and semi-structured. So structured cases, this is in the form of the tables. In the form of the table, it is the structure, because nowadays the data stored in the tabular manner. Tabular manners in the form of rows and columns. In the form of rows and columns. So that's how we'll manage it. Suppose if we will consider your student data. So that's data, it is the structured data, because it is sequentially and it is row and column wise. The data is present, which is maintained by the Utkal University. Because a database is all prepared through the current relational software. That is the like Oracle, Sybase, Informix, whatever database software we are using. But in unstructured cases, the data is not present in the row and column wise. Student name, roll number, mobile number, course update. So like that, the column wise, in many cases it may not present. So how to take the decision? That would be the problematic. So we have to find out where the unstructured or semi-structured web data. Nowadays the web-based applications are going on, so that is in all commercial sectors. Even if the web databases are also rapidly used, because earlier days the static web pages presents, but nowadays every web page associates with the database. So on that case, so we have to also work, because some data present in structured manner, some data present in the unstructured manner, semi-structured manner. Web data is considered as the semi-structured manner, because we have to analyze the large amount of data. So terabytes of data, some cases if the organizations is the globally operated. So on that case, we have to work with the what we have to work with the global. What does it mean? Because large amount of data will be generated also each and every day. So that is why first we have to support for decision makers in semi-structured and unstructured problems. So we have to find out what are the structured problems, semi-structured problems, like that. So support. So, support for managers at various managerial levels. So, because our organizations is having different branches, different interdependent sectors. So, what will happen? We have to manage with the different various levels, because the data will come from marketing division, data will come from HR division, data will come from financial sectors. So that is the second part. So it should support for managers at various levels for the top executives persons. Next is the support for interdependent or sequential decisions, because next is the support for sequential decision. So support for sequential decisions. So because interdependent, I have already told, because when the organization working with the different branches or different specialized areas. So what does overall it will be? Finally, it will be merged, because even if in our computing cases also, whatever we are suppose sending the information, that is divided into many packets. So when it merges in the destination side, so that will be one message. What message originally transferred from the sender? So same message, it is divided, but in the routes it traveled and it also reaches there in the destination side. One merges, because one merges and then it reaches in the destination side. So that is also most important nowadays, because interdependent and sequential decision, because sequentially to be executed may be dependent with the others application domain or inside the different branches. So that is why we have to take the decision for that. So next, support for intelligence intelligence, design, support for intelligence, design, choice and implementation. So, choice and implementation. So, intelligence, design, choice and implementation. So, today we will also study the business intelligence, how it is, what's with the MIS information system. So, and subsequently we will go for the system development life cycle. So, because there is in the second unit it is present. So, first of all, intelligence and design, because intelligence will give the clear cut idea about the analysis part. Because what is our requirements when will develop a system? So analytical part is most important part. So that is why that is a development life cycle we will study in brief. So in the development life cycle, what is the role of the designs, intelligence, and the implementation? Because final stage is the implementation. So we have to implement. Then the users will interact. Then the problems is solving, so not solving. So we have to know from the implementation the best results. So that is why intelligence, in terms of intelligence, lots of knowledge we have to gather either through experience or through the going through the different case studies, collecting it, or doing the research works, or like that, interact with the questionnaires, interviews. We have to gain now the intelligence. Design will give the clear-cut diagrammatical representations. How the entire system will be operated one by another. So that on that case, design will be helpful for us because the higher level versions, what they will focus on the design because the design is this sequential because the entire system is categorized into many subsystems and the flow of the data, what the flow will be described in the diagrammatically. So that is why there are also different tools present. So because the that is the in computer science, so that is the termed as UML diagrams. So that is the diagrammatical parts unified modeling language. So that will be helpful to develop the diagrams subsequently one by one. Which one will be done first? Which one will be done next? Because the data is common, but its applications area, the flow, DFD, that is the data flow, will be different. So that is why the design is most important nowadays. Now, because first of all, analysis and design. Once the design is ready, then the coder, the software developer, will able to develop the corresponding code. So that is why design is also difficult because if the it mistakes, then the coding will mistake. Then the operations of the system will problem. So every cases we will also face problem because in our what the step by step process. So if the first step is over, then the second step, as per the first step, it will work. So that is the case because if you mistake in the initial stage, first stage or previous stage, so it will also problem in the upcoming stages. So that is why the intelligence or the decision maker so should focus towards the analysis as well as the designing of the part. So next is the implementation because when the design is ready, then the technology will be used. Because particularly that is refers to the programming because the coding means alternatively that is the through programming language and one database will be used. Database and the programming database present in fourth unit we will discuss and so on that case at that time we will discuss the entire part of the database. But implementation particularly we have to implement. So what the design is ready, then we will develop the code along with the help from the database. It will operate. So that is the case. Different and support for variety of decision process and styles. And so that is the case. Support for decision styles. So all this relates to the decision support
Sir,
system,
what is the last slide? Support for decision?
processes and styles. Different types of processes. So first of all, we have to analyze what are the processes present here. So that is a support for different types of decision processes. So support for different processes, decision processes and style. So because this is the part of the enterprise application part. Now we'll come to the part business intelligence system. So business intelligence system particularly focuses on the patterns. Focuses business intelligence system is basically a system used for finding patterns from existing data from operations. Patterns from existing data. Where from operations, different levels of transactions, operations. So, business intelligence system particularly focuses, or is basically a system used for finding patterns from existing data. So, where the existing data comes, because suppose if we go for the case study of the Reliance Fresh or Big Bazaar, on that case, we are but the transactions are going on. So large number of customers buying different products. So that is the operational level data that is present because through it is stored your mobile number. So you have purchased these products. X is purchased this, Y is purchased this, Z is purchased this. Like that, it will analyze the different customers buying behavior. So after that, because the data from operations we can get the data. So from the data, we have to derive the pattern. This is the most important because once pattern will be generated, pattern will be derived, then what will happen? We will get the knowledge. Knowledge from the entire operations or entire stored data. So knowledge means what? Suppose from the buying behavior of 1,000 customers, so we have derived it, suppose what? The products. Transaction 1, milk, bread, butter. Suppose first customer, so transaction 1, milk purchase, bread purchase, butter purchase. So second transaction, so now what? Milk, chocolate, bread. So transaction 3. So third customer, so milk, chocolate, bread. So milk, biscuit. So like that, it is because the operations, daily transactions are going on. So large number of customers are buying each and every day. So that from this, so we have to derive the patterns. So how this comes? So this comes now. What is the pattern if you will consider here? 3 transactions if you will consider. So now, which is the common? Which is the common? So next we have to find out which is its pattern. So suppose here milk bread 2 times, milk biscuit present. So which is the pattern? Milk and the bread. Milk and the bread. Okay. milk and bread is the pattern. So in this case, out of three transactions, we are deriving the pattern is the milk and bread. Milk and bread. Similarly, the patterns for others, because the customer product when buying what are the items, different number of items. So you imagine it. If it will be multiplied by 30 days, if it will be each day, how many transactions, how many operations going on? Multiplied by 30 days, multiplied by 6 months, then entire thing will be how complex. So that is why different algorithmic approaches, computational techniques will be helpful to derive those things, because we are that is the market basket data, so which is easy to analyze. But when in terms of the large numbers, so it is difficult to analyze, because the computational techniques tools will be helpful to derive the patterns. So on that case, different algorithms like the association rule mining algorithm, that is the A priori algorithm, predictive A priori algorithm, different A priori based association rule mining based algorithms will be helpful to do this. But my point is how to know the pattern and what benefit you will get. Business intelligence refers to the patterns. Patterns. Business intelligence system, that is the refers to the patterns. Patterns will help us. That is why. That's why in Reliance, when you are purchasing milk, bread is near to milk, closely placed. This is the reason, because already it is proved. The pattern already prove that buying behavior of customers, those majority are those who are buying milk, they will purchase bread. So that is why those two items placed at each close to each other. So similarly, because I am giving the small example, similarly, if you think about the database cases, so on that case also, sometimes also this is referred to the positive patterns, and sometimes also the negative patterns. Suppose the milk and meat. So like this, so some negative patterns will also be considered, but negative patterns are not focused. So we have to focus towards the positive patterns. Positive patterns, from this, we can easily know which patterns from this. Suppose how many patterns we have to derive. So we have to derive means algorithm tools will helpful to show the different rules. Rule 1, rule 2, rule 3, 5 to 10 rules it will show. So from that rules we have to derive our analysis. So that is why the patterns from the existing data. Existing data comes generated from the operations. Existing data generally comes from the operations. So that is important. So first of all, business intelligence is basically a system used for finding patterns. This is the intelligence system used for finding patterns from existing data. From existing data, where we will get the existing data? From operations. From operations. So that is a complete definition. So from operations, because the pattern not only here, many more cases nowadays it is applicable. As per the pattern, we have to invest. Suppose this within the festival season, which pattern more sold. So because the pattern not only for this purpose only to place each other, no, but it will also focus towards the numbers. How many number of items will be remain for this month, for next month, like that. Because the investment will be done. So the accordingly it should be sold out. So if it will remain, so it will problem, it will lose the organization. So that is why it will also give the entire decision making process easier. It will make the decision making process easier. This is the reason, because the decision will be done to the entire transaction parts. So that is the first part. So what are the characteristics? characteristics of BIS. So it is a combination of skills, processes, technologies, applications, and practices. So because we have to having some experience on this field, because the technology will show these are the frequently what are, because these are the rules. One general example, when the Flipkart and Amazon, so when you are purchasing one product, automatically it also shows the this type of product are frequently bought. Mobile with its glass is showing below accessories. So that because buying behavior already already analyzed. So that is why X is purchasing this means X will must purchase this. So that is why it is showing in the below. So that is the case. So it is a combination of skills, processes, technologies, and applications practices. So this is the first part. So it contains. So that is the skills, process, processes, technologies, and applications. So this is the first characteristics. Next, it also contains what it contains? Background data, and along with the reporting tools. Background data along with the reporting tools. So because finally, reporting tool, why we need reporting tool? We need reporting tools to prepare the report. Report is the final stage. Whatever we have done it, so what a report. So we are watching the cricket match. Final report should come. Yes, the 2020 over cricket match, and the first innings batted by this and the scored this. Then the second innings batted by this team and scored this. Finally on this. But report to be prepared. So for that purpose, the reporting tools are helpful. So nowadays the database-based reporting tools are also required to prepare the report. Next, sorry. It is a combination of a set of concepts and methods. Set of concepts and methods are the strengthened by fact-based support system. Strengthened by fact-based support system. Concepts and methods strengthened by fact-based support system. Different facts, different case studies. We have to analyze.
না 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 পড়াতে এটা স্টার্ট হলে বন্ধ করে 10 টাকা করে
So, set of concepts and methods, strengthened by fact-based support system. So, fact-based support system. So, particularly because the system having the different types of facts. So, we have to analyze those facts. Because concepts we have to also derive from the what is the going on in our daily based operations. So we have to also analyze and again add or some other practical case studies. Similar organizations may also be studied. Next is the Next, it collects, integrates, integrates, stores, analyzes, stores, analyzes, and provide access to business information. And provide access to business to provide access to business information. So first we have to collect it, integrate it because the different sources presence. So we have to integrate it because the number of geographical location wise operations are going on. So that is a collecting from the different sources, different geographical locations, integrations, and after integrations we have to store it, then we have to analyze it and provide access to business information. Then finally access will be provided to the authorized users. So users can able to see it, users can able to view it and take the decisions accordingly. So that is it is also difficult part because nowadays the data is generated from the different sources as well as the different types of data are also generated. So that is why preparing to the one common format that is referred as the term pre-processing. Nowadays the work of the pre-processing is 50%. 50% pre-processing works are going on because different types. Suppose one data we have collected, so X, Y unit, but in between X and Y, one suppose the symbol, dollar symbol presents. So or one another character present, but we need only X and Y. But that additional character should be removed. Otherwise, it will problem in the applying or deriving the rules from those stored data. So if you store it, then it will be a problem because we have to focus exact values to the exact column. Column roll number is this. So you have to write your roll number. If additional character will be added, its meaning will be different. So that is the case. So that is it is also a very difficult point because collecting and integrating, because integrating is also difficult again. But one thing as per the what structured format. Structured means refers to the relational format. It is in the form of the row and columns. So it collects, integrates, stores, and analyzes, provide access to business information. So next, it is an environment in which business users get reliable, secure, consistent. Business users get reliable, secure, consistent. Yes, business users are reliable. So business users get reliable and secure and consistent because when once we are providing the access, so the authorized users will can enter into the database because you have the access, so you have entered into the database. You can do any types of harms to that database, but security features will never allow you. So that is why it should be highly secure. Different security-based techniques, tools will be helpful to protect this. So once the access, because the access means you are authorized, is a user ID and password, you are entering. Similarly, because the programming will used to enter into the different system area, global areas. So where you can delete many more cases. You can delete data, you can delete other variables or other things so that it will affect the entire business. So that is why highly secure best techniques, algorithm approaches will be applicable, so that it must be maintained properly. So that is the first most important cases. So that is why nowadays security itself is the very difficult one, because the different categories of security we also need. Program level security, database level security, operating system level security. All those types of security should be maintained. Network level security, because wherever the access points presence, so what the types of users, so accordingly the security feature, security techniques will be used. So, and last one, it provides business insights that lead to better, faster, and more relevant decisions. So that is the last one, that will provide the better, faster, and most relevant decisions, because from time wise we have to take decisions, and faster decisions we have to also take, because based on the decisions, next level of actions will be carried out. So that is the better, faster, and relevant decision, because already fact-based systems is already present. So from that we have to derive our decisions. So that is a better, faster, and relevant decisions, which is also required. So next is the benefits of PIS.
सर एक्सक्यूज मी, इसका पहले का जो पॉइंट था वो रिलायबल सिक्योर एंड कंसिस्टेंट, नो?
Consistent means what? Consistently system should what operate. Consistent, one round consistent plan means what? Today's score, tomorrow's score, each innings so having some scores. So that does not mean some fact-based cases it operates, when the other cases will come it may not operate. No, not at all. Consistently it performs. Because different types of data will come, different types of behavioral properties will come. Because when we are testing a developed system, we are testing with very few test cases. But in practical, when we will operate it, there are large number of cases. Because when it is developed, it is previously studied cases to be shown. Suppose in a bad customer cases, suppose when the banking system developed, so they have taken 5 cases. But when it is implemented, so lakhs of customers will be operate that system. So at that time it will make problem, but consistently it should perform, because it is not dependent on the different types of cases, different types of data, different types of users. No, consistently it should perform. That is the most important, because consistency is to be remain each case. Some very few cases where system failure. Suppose in case of the one announcement done by Flipkart, so that 10,000 TV price is last, and it is available in 1,000 rupees at on the morning 5 a.m. So what will happen? Number of requests will be more. At that time, system crashed. Because the reason behind it, that the unexpected cases of requests come from the different sources. That might be some exception present. Consistently performs means, so in spite of different heterogeneous cases, different types of users and different types of data, but it will perform. So, but this is unexpected, because when the system designed for the Flipkart, so expected the number of users are suppose 10,000, but it is maximum is expected 10,000 requests can be sent per second per one session. That is the per session wise it is the request sends, because session one, so either number of requests or time duration wise it will be submitted. So session consists with what? Time duration or the number of requests. So if the number of requests is this, it will be submitted, or with the time, if it is 10 minutes, 5 minutes, or 10 seconds, so accordingly it will be submitted. But unexpected cases, 1 lakh has come. So entire system failed to operate. But system also previously worked. System also previously worked with a different number of accesses. But now why it fails? Because there are some cases where our system may fail, but that doesn't mean it will not perform. Many times it performs, but some exception cases whether it has not performed. The reason also present because not only the system failed due to the number of accessors, but it also fails due to the technological cases, due to the networking cases, because through the networkings, the components, standards, and the equipments what we have used may not be sufficient technology, because nowadays it is accessed through, it is operated through the from the various geographical location wise. So that is why the distributed technology is helpful to manage such type of business deals. But distributed technology from time to time it should also be updated. Corba, RMI, EJB, Hibernets, all those different technology. So we have to adapt to the latest technologies. So that is why it should be performed. What system present in spite of different hurdles and obstacles, the system will also be able to perform the required task and all operations to be done. Is it clear?
Thank you, sir. Okay, thanks.
Continue. Okay, I will discuss the next question. Thanks.